Well, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great morning so far. Back on trail. Had a great stay last night at the Knoll Hostel. I kind of contemplated going in, taking a zero. They were calling for a little bit of weather, which we had. It just stopped raining. You can probably still hear some sprinkles happening. But I don't think we're going to have much more rain the rest of the day, so I couldn't really justify it that way. The other thing I was thinking about is just a recuperation, rest kind of thing. But I hate to waste a good day. And so I decided to just go ahead and press on. The plan today is I'll actually be out back into the wilderness a bit, for 3 days, 2 nights and 3 days. So today's plan is a hike of about 12 miles, and we're going to go to a shelter beside a pond. I think it's called the Gentian, Gentin shelter. It's about mile number 1912. Again, we passed and when we left the parking lot, we're at mile 1900. So yeah, it's supposed to be pretty rugged, as all these miles are. You think you're finishing up the whites and everything gets easier, but they say it stays pretty difficult, honestly, for the first to about mile 2028. So I've got about 128 miles of pretty challenging terrain, and then it gets easier, right? So we've got work to do. I'm gonna try to step up the miles where I can. I've been averaging probably 7, 8, 9, whatever. Today's going to be 12. But the reality of it all is that these are still very tough miles. And they will be even into southern Maine. And we'll be in Maine tomorrow, so that's pretty exciting. So I look forward to that. But right now we've got some hiking ahead of us for sure. I'm getting an early start. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. And hopefully we'll take it easy and just punch this out. And we'll be there before time to settle in and have dinner. So we'll see. I don't know. I know the first climb is going to be the toughest. We've got about 1,700 feet of elevation gain, and after that we'll be up and down and up and down, sort of like what we experienced coming through the corridors or coming through off of Madison or whatever. I mean, it's just kind of what we've done. The overall elevation is not as high as what we experienced at the highest points, of course, in the whites, but it's all relative to where you start. So we're starting today at about 770 feet in elevation, but we're going to over 2,500. So it's still climbing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's time to get after it. Here we go. Hope everybody has a great day, and we'll catch up with you further down the path. Look, everybody, it's my first blueberries, and I'm gonna try one. Not too shabby. Probably not quite as big and ripe as it could be, but it tells me they're coming. So there'll be more of that along the trail, I'm sure. But we've almost made it to the top, not quite yet. I am wringing wet. It is, of course, it rained this morning. There's a lot of humidity in the air, and it's warm. I'd say 70, maybe low 70s, and steamy, just real steamy. So I could take my shirt off and wring it out right now, I'm sure. But we're gonna keep on marching on and heading to the top of this mountain. All right, we'll catch up with you as we get further down the path. That's level. That's down. Where have we seen this before? That's where we're going. We're almost to the top of this mountain. We got this one final push, and with the rain this morning, these rocks are a little wet. We'll get to it though. See you at the top. Okay folks, we finally made it to the top of this mountain. This is Mount Hayes. H-A-Y-E-S, Hayes. Not much of a view here. You barely see some mountains through the trees. They are covered with a haze. So we made 3.5 miles in 2 hours. So I'm not terribly disappointed in my pace, although I had three young people pass me up coming up the mountain like it was nothing, you know, they're flying. So this stretch between where I got on and where I'll get off in 2.5 days is about 30 miles. And some people do it in 3 days or two nights and 3 days, which is what I'm going to do. And some people do it all in 2 days. And I'm not that guy. Some people, you know, they're faster and stronger and they can pull it off, and I wish them well. There are plenty of shelters along the way, and that's a good thing. So you can just kind of pick your place, right, and find that place where you're comfortable. So you just got to listen to your own body and understand what you're capable of doing. So for me, it's 12 miles today. I think it's about 8 or 9 miles tomorrow. Then we go straight into that Mahoosuc Notch stuff, and it's really, really hard. And then we come back out, the highway, and ultimately get picked up. So that's the plan for me, for sure. So just going to keep on pressing on today, and the weather's nice. I kind of feel good up here at the top because I got a nice breeze cooling me off. I'm absolutely dripping wet, sweat and humidity. But it's been a good day so far. We're making good progress, and key thing is just to keep on moving. So we'll see you guys further down the path. I guess when I said that I was on the summit of Mount Hayes, I went back and looked at it, and it said it was a fault summit. Which means you think you're at the top, and you start going and you climb some more, you find that you were not at the top. So Mount Hayes is actually off the Appalachian Trail. It's not on the Appalachian Trail, and it's an additional 0.2 of a mile that way. My guess is it's not worth walking off the Appalachian Trail 0.4 of a mile round trip to get into that. So I'm not going to. I don't think I'll be of view anyway. I'm going to stay on the Appalachian Trail, which is also called the Mahoosuc Trail today. You see AT in the parentheses, taking its secondary position to the local trail. But this is the campsite we're going to, the Gentian Pond campsite, which is 7.9 miles more yet. So we got some hiking to do yet, but we got all day ahead of us, so it's all good. All right, let's keep on pressing on. All right, folks, we're pretty close to the top of the second climb here, and here we have a bit of a view. I don't know that this particular hill I'm standing on has a name, but it is providing a little bit of view. You can see the cloud cover just hovering right to the top of the mountains. But underneath the mountains, you can see the rolling greens and blues of the Appalachians. It's really nice. All right, let's press on. A little bit of a viewpoint here. I believe that mountain there is where we're going. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't pop out right there on that rocky cliff. But I think we're going to cross and go up top of that mountain and then back down the other side. That's about 2,500 feet. We're currently, once we get to the bottom of this hill, we'll be about 19. I think so that'll leave us, it's around 600 to 700 feet climb to get back up. So, but I think that'll be our last big climb of the day. So that's what's ahead of us. Okay, let's go get it done. We've happened upon a beautiful pond. Didn't know I was going to say that. This is called Page Pond. And it's a big one, filled with lily pads. Got a nice breeze cutting across this pond. It hit me right in the face. It feels nice. It's been so muggy and wet today. Very nice. We have 3.9, I think, to get to our shelter, so been good progress, but from here it's pretty much all uphill. That's where we're going. More uphill, more slick rocks. No problem. We'll knock it out. This is a beautiful pond. It's called the Upper Gentian Pond. Okay, and I'm not sure I'm saying that right. Gentian. It's G-E-N-T-I-A-N. It could be Gentian. Don't know. Don't know that word. Look, the sky's beautiful. It's cleared off a good bit since this morning. You know, it was pretty overcast. We'd had a big thunderstorm last night, or early this morning, about 6 o'clock. And totally different now. Really pretty. So this is the Upper Gentian Pond. We're going to go to the Gentian Pond, which is a little bit further south of here. And that's where the Gentian Pond shelter is. So we got 7/10 of a mile to get to that location. Let's make it happen. Hey, cute little devil. Little red squirrel. About the size of a chipmunk, maybe a little bigger than a chipmunk. Cute. All right, everybody. We have made it to our destination and our home for the evening. The Gentian Pond shelter or campsite. They have a bear box over there. Oh, they have a little graph over here that tells you where things are. Pictorial. Here is the front of the shelter. Got a privy. These represent tent sites. Go out this way to get back on the Appalachian Trail. Go downhill to get the water, of course. Yeah, pretty simple. Okay, let's check it out. It's got a view out the front. That's pretty nice. And here is the shelter itself. A bit of a double decker. Really deep. Got room on the top. Plenty of room on the bottom as well. I don't know what I'll do. I bet I might be the only person here. I'm not sure. We'll wait and see. But I think this will work. That's where we'll be. All right, so I guess the thing for me to do would be just go ahead and take this heavy pack off and settle in for a little bit. And it's a little early to start cooking and whatnot. It's not even 3 o'clock. And I can start working on some plans and stuff for tomorrow, make sure I know what I'm doing, and clean myself up a little bit. I had to go through a bit of a lot of mud, I guess from the rain last night, but there's a lot of flooded areas where it's just a lot of water and kind of boggy stuff, so not too bad, but shoes are soaked and legs are kind of muddy. Got to clean them up before we get in the sleeping bag later. So get some water. So we've got a few things to do. I hope everybody's had a good day. It's been a pretty good hike, actually. Saw past a lot of folks that were going southbound today. They just started their hike in Maine, and they were all filled with enthusiasm and making good progress. So I wish them all well. All right, so total for today, I think is 11.9 miles in total. We'll call it 12. And overall, a really good day. So tomorrow, I've got decisions, and we'll get into those tomorrow. But we will catch up first thing in the morning. Maybe with a sunrise. That'd be cool.